Hi guys, my name is Jeff H. Sipe, and I have over 10 years of recruiting experience, including 5 years at Google. In this video, we are going to cover how to best spend your time when preparing for an interview. So yes, this is a checklist of sorts, but the goal in this video is to help you prioritize and really get a sense of how long some of these items might take. Hang out with me for the entire video. I know this stuff works. I also know this isn't a super exciting subject, but the amount of effort you put into your interview will directly correlate with your success. So let's dive right in. Item one, examples. So step one, open a Google Doc and set up all your examples in the STARLF method. So literally you're going to write out S, situation, T, task, A, action, R, result, L, learning, F, follow-up questions. And you'll just create that shell for 5 or 10 examples. You're going to want to write down at least 5. If you can get more, that's great. You are going to have to go back and edit based on these other items. So estimated total time to get your examples down and really cater and craft them, 2 to 3 hours. Item 2, commonly asked questions. Step 1, research commonly asked questions by reading articles and then watching videos on YouTube. Start with articles, it will save you more time, and then you can hone in and go right to those videos. Step 2, this is a big one that's not talked about often enough, is within those commonly asked questions, you're really going to be looking for themes. So some of the themes that come up in commonly asked questions are accomplishments, strengths, weaknesses, collaboration, conflicts, time, etc. So now that you've gone through and you've noticed some of these themes, go back to your examples and ask yourself, am I really covering all these themes or a lot of these themes in my examples? And really develop and bolster the ones that are really diverse and do cover a lot of these themes, because you'll be able to use them to answer a lot of different types of interview questions. And this is super critical. This is a big differentiator. This will really make your examples more impactful when they touch on all these commonly talked about items. Total time, again, same as the first item, 2 to 3 hours. Item number 3, research, what we talked about in last week's video. Research is going to come across in a few different ways. So step 1, you want to research the company in the news, competitors, and then lastly, don't forget about company size, because that will impact how you answer questions. Step 2, research the job description. So similar to commonly asked questions, you're really going to be looking for themes and keywords and making sure that those themes and keywords are back in your example. So you're going to have to go back to item 1 again. Step 3, and a really important one, is read some articles and also watch some videos on body language. Body language is a really, really critical item. So you just want to make sure that you're doing a little research on that, because if you're just worrying and thinking about the words, you're not doing everything you need to do. Same as the first 2, total amount of time is going to be about 2 to 3 hours. Item 4 is methodology/framework. Now, your examples to behavioral interview questions, they're important, but you also have to have a plan for how to answer questions with a little bit more complexity. So specifically, it's 4 types of questions. It's open-ended questions, it's scenario-based questions, it's estimation questions, and it's trick questions. How much time you spend on each truly depends on the position. So if I was a product manager going in for an interview at Google, I would definitely be preparing for open-ended, I'd be preparing for scenario, and I'd be preparing for estimation questions. And just to dive in a little bit more and give you a better understanding, what I mean by methodology or framework is you know how to tackle items, but beforehand you want to create a plan. So sticking with the product manager, let's go with an open-ended question. So I would know the top 5 or 10 steps when looking to create a new product, enhance an existing product, or even jump in and examine why a product is behind schedule in the product plan, right? These are definitely going to come up maybe not specifically that question, but something close. And if you come in and you have this specific methodology or framework, it's going to be great. So for your role, know what are the top 2, 3, etc. items that are going to always come up that you're always going to have a plan for. It will create great success for you. If you don't know how to start building a methodology or a framework, go back to your examples. There's a great chance that in your actions, that's going to be telling that story. Go back and do that. I did a video and I'll pin it up there. And but I need to probably extend a little bit more on this framework and methodology. So that's another video. Now, total time here could be 2 up to maybe 5 hours, depending on if you have to cover all of these areas or just one area. Item 5, no surprise here, practice. A minimum of 3 mock interviews, 1 hour each. And so the best step, number 1, hire a professional to do it. They're the ones that are going to get you to that next step fastest. 2, somebody who's a current or former colleague in a like or similar role. And then lastly, a family member or a friend. For the last 2, the answer is yes, you should bribe them with whatever they love. Do they love chocolate? Do they love coffee? Do they love beer? Do they love pizza? Everybody loves pizza. And so, but the other piece is you create a defined plan for them, meaning you create a large list of questions that they can pull off of, so you couldn't have planned for all the answers to those questions. You set up the calendar invite or the face-to-face meeting. You're really helping make it easy for them. So with planning and prep and all those items, total time 4 to 5 hours. So at a minimum, as we look at all these total times, collectively 12 hours preparing. It sounds like a lot, but think about it. That would be 1 hour for a day for less than 2 weeks. Or does this 12 hours get you out of a dead-end job or away from a horrible boss? Now is it worth it? And so lastly, the one other item that I want you to be thinking about is, what is the value of these 12 hours from a pay perspective? Right? And so I can tell you, I had to interview at Google twice, first round as a contractor, 5 months later as a full-time employee, and I put a ton of hours into my prep, into my practice, and Google was my highest paying job. And so that time was worth it, and when I look at the hours I spent preparing, they were priceless because I got a great job out of it. So really be kind of quantifying and qualifying why those 12 hours are so important. And when you break it down, they are. I really hope this helps. Thanks so much. Have a great day.